everyone, welcome to episode 14 of the Indie Strings podcast. I'm your host, Kay. I also go by Kayla, and I'm Indie Strings on Ravelry and Kay Johnston on Google+. You can find this podcast on the blog, indiestring.blogspot.com, or on iTunes and Indie Strings. Also, it's on Vimeo and YouTube. And so let's go forward and talk about everything that's going on. The knitting that has been happening this week. So hopefully you can grab something to drink and you're knitting and we can talk together. And so first, what's on the needles? It is the same thing that's been on the needles the last few weeks. And I'll be honest, I haven't knit a lot. I've been working like a minimum of 12, but most days 13 to 14 hours a day. And I have an hour and a half round trip commute to work. And basically, you do nothing when you work that much. You don't know what day of the week it is. You get up, you get dressed, and you go back into work. So a lot of the nights, honestly, I've been so tired. I have just sat there, I come home, eat, sit there for 10, 20 minutes, go upstairs and go to bed. Unfortunately, the knitting has not been as supreme as I would like it. And I know I'm never where I want to be. But anyways, I'm knitting the tilt. And this was in Wool People 5. And it's a square shawl. I'm very excited. I still love it to death. And I'm knitting it out of Western Sky Knits and her Super Wash Single in the Vamp colorway. Try to spread it out maybe. I don't know what way to go for you. So those are the sections. And I'll try to get in the middle. It's really super bunching up on my needles, but it's starting to come together. I'm only about 6 rows away from my main body chart repeat, and once I get done with this second repeat of this chart, then I start on the edgings. Whew, thank goodness. I have about 500. See how bunched up it is? Such a bad knitter. I should really change needles. But I have about 500 stitches on the needles, and it takes me about a half an hour to get around now. And so I feel like it's like a feat to get anything done. Like, whoa, I got some done. And I'm not knitting on anything else because if I set this down, sucker is not going to get done. And I need to get it done by the end of the month because at the end of this month, we are going to the bridal shower in which this is the present. So chop on me, eh? It is living in my Girl Kay bag. And I love this bag. I love all of her square bags, but it's almost itsy. It's totally busting out almost. And my pull I got at the Piper Festival in the last episode. It's so cute. It's a little sheepy. And I'm happy about it. So I would have gotten so much more progress done, but I totally made a huge mistake and it was not fixable. And so we watched The Last Batman for the first time. I know we are way behind movies. And I tanked back for 2.5 hours. It was depressing. It was so depressing. And I just kept on thinking the whole time I'm thinking back how much further I could be. Oh, but I had to do it because it looked awful. So I'm very glad I did it. We're back on the right track. I probably knit since then. I took this weekend off because I needed to recharge a little bit. I just couldn't work anymore. So I knit several hours each day. So that's been really good for me to just kind of chill out and sit down and zone out. If I can knit like an hour on this every day, that's high shooting. I don't think I'm going to get near there, but maybe. So that's going good. And then we're going to talk about spinning. So Tour de Fleece is going on, and unfortunately I've been pathetic. If I've done anything, I've been knitting on that shawl since it has a deadline, but I did spin a little bit, and we haven't really talked about what I've been spinning for quite a while, so I decided I would show you guys. So I'm still spinning Into the World, but I'm actually on a coordinating color. What I did is I spun 2 4-ounce bumps of a club colorway, and then this is a coordinating color of it, and it's in her Polwar Silk. As all of her fibers are, the prep is amazing. And it's been a joy to spin, and I really wish I had more time to spin on it. I wish. You know, I wish I had all the hours and all the days just to sit around and spin in it. But I think all of us are kind of like that. Ah, sheepy goodness. But with Tour de Fleece going on, we did start kind of like an unteam. And what I mean by that is Tour de Fleece, I always felt a lot of pressure in Tour de Fleece and to join a team and spin a lot and post pictures and complete stuff. And I would feel really guilty when I didn't get something done or I didn't spin as much as I wanted to. And the posts in Tour de Fleece thread, wow, amazing. Just like the Finish Yarn thread is awesome. Just go in there, totally be inspired. I can't keep up with it. Like, there is hundreds of posts a day and I never have the time. And then I always feel like I should read everything and I never feel okay just to jump in the middle. And so it's just a detriment to myself and it just stresses me out. So instead this year I decided to have an unteam. And basically you can spin whatever you want by whoever you want. It doesn't have to be started. It just has to be, it doesn't even have to be finished. You can post progress pictures. Just a place to go and talk if you want, or just to say, man, I really wish I could spin, but I haven't been spinning. Or I've never spun before. Let's talk about spinning and wheels and spindles. It's just kind of an all-inclusive thing where everyone's welcome and there's no pressure and just a much slower moving pace. But with that, I did decide to do some prizes because why not, right? So we're going to have 2 prizes, and the way that it's going to work is we're going to just keep that one thread open, and you're going to post in it if you would like. Now, if you are not a spinner, please feel free to post in it. If you want to comment on someone's picture, if you want to ask a question, whatever you would like. And what we'll do for you is if you win something, I'll spin it for you, or we can substitute it for some yarn in my stash. And I got some good stuff, so don't worry, I'll make sure it's awesome. But so the 2 fibers that we're giving away are, this is the first one. It's Northbound Knitting, and this is an Envy colorway and a Romney top. And this was actually a club shipment. It's different colors, greens and grays. Actually, it'll be super nice. A really great beginner's wool Romney. I like Romney. But, so this is one prize, and then the second prize we're going to do Pigeon Roof, and this is also a club colorway. Spread the love of my clubs. This is a superwash merino. It's 4 ounces, and I believe it's called Springtide. And I'm sorry, these pictures are much richer in real life. So those are our 2 prizes. If we have a ton of people start to join up and talk, then I'll add more prizes. But right now it's just super maintainable. And thank you everyone for joining and all the prizes. And the way that we're going to draw the prizes is we're going to have one that's just going to be a random number generator. So it doesn't matter if you have spun something, if you're just talking, if you're a spinner or not. Everyone will be entered to win that posts in that thread. And then the second thing that we have is we're going to have a picture thread. I know there's some pictures in there. They're lovely. And I'll draw from that one as well. So if you post a picture, you'll be entered to win. And if you just post anything, you'll also be entered. So I hope you guys like this idea. Maybe next year we'll have a bigger thing. But whew, I just can't keep up with all the stuff. So let's talk about enabling. I only got one thing this week, and it is a crab mug. I got a Jenny the Potter mug. I pre-ordered this several weeks ago, and it came in the mail. And here is a pirate crab. It's trying to get the yarn on this side. And then on the other side is a regular crab. So I love it. I love it muchly. Although I keep on drinking out of it and I'm trying to do like a crab pirate voice. It's really annoying. Oh well, my husband married me, knew what he was getting into. So I guess I get to know him for a little bit until the it kind of rubs off on how awesome this is. Awesomeness. I really like it. All right, also speaking of enabling, it's time to enable you guys. So we have a prize to go and give away. We have 58 members in the group. Woohoo! Thank you everyone for coming over and joining the group, introducing yourselves. Feel free to start a topic and take it away. Everyone's been super welcoming and warm, and it's just a lovely place. I'm very excited about the Ravelry group. And so because we hit over 50 members, we're going to do a drawing. And we're going to do a drawing for all 58 people. So the next drawing will be at 100. When we reach 100, we will do another drawing and we'll give another pattern away. And so we're going to do a random number generator from, I don't know if you can see this, hopefully you can, 2 through 58, because I was the first one to join. Imagine that. And da-da-da-da, it's 56. Ooh, let's look and see who that is. Sorry, I got to go on my computer here, folks. 56 is Lenev, L-A-N-E-V, Lane. So Lane, contact me. Just send me a Ravelry PM. You get a pattern of your choice up to $10. Congratulations. And thanks for joining the Ravelry group. It's awesome. I love stuff like that. Okay. So what's up next is Rants and Raves. We're 11 minutes in. We're already to the good stuff. It has been a few weeks of just not fun stuff. Last week we talked about the dog running away. That was unfun, and I guess it just started me down a hill, right? And it just keeps on coming. It's been really bad. I kind of did like, I delayed my episode and then I posted it at an off day and I didn't do another episode. We had a close friend pass away and we had to deal with going to the funeral and a lot of other stuff, and that's been pretty horrible. I've been working an obscene amount, which has been pretty horrible. I know, it's like nothing good. Just trying to keep, you know, an upbeat attitude and a smile on our faces, and you know, there's always better times around the corner. So we're going to talk about some funny stuff that happened, and we are going to skip over all the crappy stuff, because who is here to talk about that? Not me. I don't need to dwell. I talk about it enough to the people who love me, and they are probably bored hearing about it. So the first thing is that we have been having nightmares with our remote and Comcast and our DVR and our whole stinking setup. I have no other option than Comcast. And my remote stopped working a while ago, and you would have to like jam on the most frequently used button so hard. So my husband was like, one night, he was like, I'm done. We're going to fix this. So I now have a hillbilly remote, and let me show it to you. And you're going to say, why is it hillbilly? And that's because he somehow misplaced all of these buttons, so now they're just holes. And this button up here is a hole. It does work much better, but I feel it's like the most pathetic, poor remote in the whole wide world. And so the first thing I said is, I'm really glad it works. Thanks for fixing it. You know, I'm very grateful. However, the first thing our 4-year-old child's going to do is try to jam food in these holes. So now we're going to duct tape it. It's like, such a hillbilly remote. But what are you going to do about it, you know? A little duct tape solves everything. But man, it's fixed. So hopefully we'll get a new DVR soon, because that stopped working in the middle of this week and I haven't had time to call. It just won't work anymore. For a while, for 2 days, our whole cable wouldn't work at all anyways. It's just been... So I have to call them. But so, on the positive note, my husband and I have been spending a lot of nice quality time together, and we went out to eat the last 2 days, which is somewhat rare for us. And we went to a place in Eugene called the Beer Steam, and they have 1,800 different bottled beers, and they have 24 beers on tap. 1,800 bottles of beer. So I'm not like a huge beer drinker or anything, but man, you walk in there and it is overwhelming. It's so overwhelming. There's so many choices. It's like the cornucopia of choices of beer. It's crazy. All over the world. It's super great. They have nice food too. We just got sandwiches. That was really good and got to sit outside. And then we went, and for the first time ever tonight, I got a chicken and waffles. It really is good. I had my doubts. My husband kept on telling me, it's so good, Kayla. You just need to calm down. You need to try it. And I was like, all right, man. It's been getting a lot of hoopla lately, and I tried it. It was delicious. So we had chicken and waffles, and then we got ice cream, homemade, handmade ice cream. And on the way home, my husband had a beer, so I was driving the truck. And I'm driving along, and we're 3 minutes from home, and we're getting off the highway and turning at a stoplight to get on the main drag of town to basically go up to our street. And the truck dies. Now all the instruments are still working, but the gas won't work. Power steering's off. The engine just like shut off. So the first millisecond I was like, holy crap, he's gonna scream at me. I just broke his truck. It's just ridiculous because he would never yell at me for that. And so of course we get it and we push it over the side of the road. And he was like, get out, you know, I'm gonna fix this. Right, because you know this is fixable. So it's not working. It will start and it will turn over and it will run fine for 30 seconds and then the engine will just stop. So it's totally a fuel problem. And he was like, I got bad fuel. And I was like, I don't think you got bad fuel. We buy fuel at the same 2 places all the time. I don't have bad fuel. How do you have bad fuel? So long story, and I'm not making it shorter, we had to call a tow truck, got a tow bed, and that was just scary. I was so fearful of the poor guy in the side of the freeway. And on a positive note, we must have had 15 people stop and ask if they could help us. A police officer stopped and asked if he needed us to call it in, if everyone was all right. And that really restored my faith in humanity a little bit. It was just really kind for so many people to stop and ask if they could help us. But anyways, we got it home. And so we're on the way home, right? And my husband's like, well, you know, I think it may be the fuel filter. I was like, well, why would it be the fuel filter? I mean, you're getting your engine, your oil checked. Aren't they checking the fuel filter and changing it? And he was really quiet. And he's like, well, that's the original fuel filter. So let me tell you, we bought that car new, and it's a 2003 Chevy Silverado. He has not changed the fuel filter in 10 years. I was not happy. I wasn't like raging mad or anything because we have tow as part of our insurance and it doesn't even cost us a deductible or anything like that. But I was like, honestly, I had to stand on the side of the freeway for the last hour, a decade. So tomorrow he will be changing his fuel filter and hopefully that's all it is. Who doesn't change the fuel filter for 10 years? I was like, you better not bring that to mechanic because they're just going to laugh in your face. Serves us right. Serves us right for breaking down. Although we couldn't have asked for better. We had a wide shoulder. It was still light out. It was nice. It wasn't hot. It was a little breezy. I mean, for breaking down, it really wasn't that bad. I couldn't complain. But still, unnecessary. But that's the way it's been going lately. But we're going to get back on track. Work's going to slow down. I keep on saying that every week. Every single week I say that. It's going to get better. It's going to get better. And it just doesn't. But it's got to get better soon because I can't do this forever. And don't get me wrong. Really love what I do. But I don't love anything for 14 hours a day. You know, sorry. Don't love anything that much. Except my kid and my husband. But I'm very excited. Hopefully we'll start. I have some ideas for some prize threads. What I'd like to do in the next week or two is I'll randomly post some stuff in some prizes. And I want to try to get some topics and other things rolling. If anyone has some ideas, you know, shoot me a message. Hopefully in September. I'm hoping to do our first knit along together. And if anyone wants to have a suggestion of what we should do for our first one, send something on over. I'm probably going to do a really super generic, you know, one. And I was thinking a sweater. Just any sweater. I don't care. Not a doll sweater, I think. I don't know. It's open for discussion. I'm easily swayed, ladies and gentlemen. Easily swayed. I hope you guys have a lovely, lovely week. And once we get up to 100 members, we'll have another drawing. And remember to post in the Tour de Fleece thread, or just respond and ask some questions or comments on some of the loveliness that is in that thread. It's really, that anyone is joining me is really miraculous to me. So I hope you guys have a wonderful time. If you have something fun that you think that I should do, because I'm childless for like another 2 or 3 weeks, we will do that. And hopefully we're going to go to a movie. That's like at the top of my list right now. I need to have a little steam release and nothing bad to happen this week. Let's hope. The cable breaking and the truck breaking in 1 week was enough for me. Well, they're both cheap fixes. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to be lighthearted about it. Hopefully it doesn't suck too bad. Right? Right. Okay, I'm just dragging this on because seriously, I just like this podcast and I like talking to you guys. And it's the bright spot of my week, ladies and gentlemen. You really are. You truly make me happy. So I thank you all. Hope you have a wonderful week and knit with some love. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye.